Hey, hi, good evening. I'm so excited that we have come to the end of our series. So, you've been with me all along. We went through day one, day two, day three, day four, day five, and now it's day six, the final module of our AZ900 dinner series, AZ900 dinner series. So, today we are focusing on the very last module, which is Azure pricing and life cycle. So, fasten your seatbelt as we take a look at what this module has for us. So, we shall be looking at a lot of things, starting from factors affecting cost up to Azure product life cycle. Okay, so let's dive right in. Okay, so the very first things we're going to be looking at the factors affecting costs when you are in the cloud. Okay, so the very first one we're going to be looking at is the resource type. What kind of workload are you running? Okay, so there are some workloads that are suited for certain type of resources in Azure. So are you using the right resource for your workload? Okay, so that's the very first thing that you look at. So let's look at what the official text has for us. So cost are resource specific. Okay, so the usage that a meter tracks and the number of meters associated with the resource depends on the resource type. Okay, now secondly, the service. Okay, so Azure usage rate and billing period can differ between enterprise users, web direct users, and CSP customers. Okay, so each category of customers, they have their own kind of rates. So then next we're going to be looking at location. So I want to talk about this a little bit. So I'd like you to know that, okay, when you turn on your computer, know that you need internet before you can do anything online. You're probably using internet to talk to me. Okay, so you use internet, you use electricity, and your computer is probably generating a lot of heat. Okay, so you need cooling. Okay, maybe it has internal cooling, but definitely if it's a cloud provider, they need cooling. So the same way your own computer would need electricity, would need internet, would need cooling. The ones that are given to you by the cloud provider, they have to they need 24 hours internet, 24 hours light, and cooling as well. So certain locations are much more expensive with regards to electricity. So if you're running your workload in a place like Finland, for example, or no, sorry, Iceland, for example, that is always cool, and maybe they have some sort of renewable energy, then it's going to be cheaper in that location. But if you go to certain location where electricity is very expensive, that means the cloud provider is going to be running, you know, it's going to be running on a very high cost with regards to electricity. Then definitely they're going to charge you even higher. So and there are certain locations that are very, there are a lot of customers in those locations. Like I remember, if I deploy my workload to the UK, there's always a kind of a rush, with the UK data centers. Okay, okay, that's that about that. So your location determines the pricing. Okay, so let's move to the next one. So as your infrastructure is globally located and usage cost varies between the locations. So I've explained to you why what will make the price to vary in the location. That one depends on the cost that the cloud provider is using to power their data center, electricity, cooling, and internet. So the next one is bandwidth. Okay, so some inbound data are free. Okay, such as when you're going into the data center. Okay, things you're going in is free, but when you take data out, it's no longer free. Okay, and this also depends on zone. Okay, and zone because they're paying for internet and factors like I mentioned earlier. So reserve instances. So with Azure reserve instances, you can commit to buying 1 year, 3 years. Okay, so if later on we'll be looking at the cost calculator, and you see that if we click reserve instance, you see that our price will come down significantly. So also we also have the hybrid benefits. Okay, hybrid benefit means you don't have to buy license 2 times. So if you have a license that you're already using on premise, you can bring it to the cloud, and it's going to make things even cheaper for you. Okay, sorry, give me a minute. So it will make things a little bit much more cheaper for you. So we're also going to be seeing this later on when we work with the pricing calculator. But before I leave this page, I want to show you something from Azure portal with regards to the resource price, the resource type being determining how you get charged. So let's go to Azure portal. Okay, so I've opened. Okay, let me open any of the virtual machines that I've spun up. Sorry, it's taking. Oops. So my virtual machine has opened. I'm just going to click on size. So every virtual machine will have these settings by the side. So settings, so just click on size and see. Okay. So it's taking forever to open, but it's okay. So as you can see from the screen, okay, so you see I deployed this workload, this virtual machine to East US. Okay, so I chose D2S_V3. Okay, and it's a general purpose. Size, and you can see the max IOP is 3200. The RAM is 8 GB, and the data disk is 4. Okay, I think I attached the data disk to it. There was no data disk initially. Okay, no. Okay, so usually they will not give you data disk, but data disk. Talking about data disk, I thought I attached the data disk. So we're going to look at data disk later on. Okay, so usually when you deploy a virtual machine, they only give you OS disk. So you need to attach data disk by yourself. So I'm surprised I'm seeing data disk here, but never mind. So what I'm trying to show you is this. Okay, so there are different categories. You have the general purpose, you have the different type. Okay, you have D series. Okay, now let's look at, you see, memory optimized. So the cost of a memory optimized virtual machine is going to be definitely more expensive than that of a general purpose. Okay, then also when we compare it to a compute optimized, okay, hold on, I'm gonna show you everything that is here. So you see, for this series we have general purpose, we even have confidential computing. Okay, so you see high performance. So the size you choose is storage optimized, memory optimized. You see, there's GPU as well. So I just opened this to show you that, you know, something brought us to this page. Okay, hold on. I wanted to show you. Okay, that's not the scope of this lecture. So today I'm just for this lecture, I'm just trying to show you the factors that affect cost. So why I brought you to this page is to show you that for your virtual machine, okay, the size you choose determine how much you get paid. So choose the size that will suit the work that you're doing. If not, you pay unnecessary cost. So ability to know which size is good for your work is something that will save your organization a lot of trouble. Okay, and you can see the IOPS for these ones. Like the one that I chose is 3002. This one is like 16 times 500, very high. That means you're gonna be paying now. It's definitely gonna be higher than any other one. So let's go back to our lecture slide and continue what we were talking about. Okay, so we just looked at resource type. Okay, how it affects your costs. Okay, I talked about location. I told you how I talked about hybrid benefits and reserve instances. So let's move forward. Okay, so the pricing calculator is a tool that helps you estimate the cost of Azure products. Okay, the options that you can configure in the pricing calculator vary between the product, but basic configuration would include all these that you're seeing. So if you're looking at here, for example, you have standard. You can choose standard, you can choose premium, depends on you. So whatever you choose will determine how much they'll charge you, just like what we just saw from the portal just now. Okay, so the basic configuration will include your region, your tier, billing support, if you're looking at the pricing calculator. So let's quickly go to Azure pricing calculator. Let's configure some pricing and review some estimate very fast. So let's go back to Azure portal. Okay, so I was telling you, okay, this page I opened disk for you. A virtual machine will only have OS disk. So if you need data disk, you need to configure it by yourself. Okay, you need to configure data disk by yourself. So I'm going to close this. That's not what we're talking about. So we at this point we're talking about a pricing calculator. Okay, so now I'm going to choose some items and we're going to see the price. So assuming I choose virtual machine, for example, I choose storage account, I choose a database, and Microsoft cost management. Yes, I choose that as well. Maybe I have an app I want to configure, then yeah, maybe I want to use functions. So let's see how much this would cost us. So I've selected a number of items. So the virtual machine I chose, I want OS only. Okay, I want standard, or no, I want basic. So you see, if you choose standard, okay, that is basic. Okay, it's 13. Okay, let's go back to standard. See, the price changed to 14. Okay, so hybrid benefit means I'm bringing my license, but if I want to pay for license in the cloud, it's going to change. Okay, we'll come back to look at this one later. Okay, it's pay as you go, but in case I want to do reserve instance, choose 3 years. Okay, this is kind of not, I don't know why it's hanging. It's not selecting the option. But let's go with hybrid benefits. Okay, if this was selecting, it would even bring the price even much lower. Okay, so here we have 14. So hybrid benefit means you are bringing your license that you have on the, even if we change the location here too, it will affect the price. This is not Europe. Let's look for let's say where would electricity be much more expensive? Did it change? No, it didn't change much. Okay, the price here is like 150, but I wish this is selecting. If we select this, you see that this would go down significantly. So this is enough. We've configured enough for the virtual machine. For the storage account, I'm just gonna choose geo-redundant storage. Okay, it's not available for that region. We just go with the default. Okay, for SQL database, vCore, I want to use DTU. Okay, so let's say so you've seen. Okay, let's for this. Okay, so for the what? Okay, so okay, for the virtual machine. Okay, it was this one was pay as you go. You see 152. If I choose 3 years, hold on, this is what is pay as you go. Okay, it's 152. So if I choose I want a reserve instance for 3 years, it changed from 152, it changed to 104. So then with the OS license included, okay, it's 67. Assuming I choose hybrid benefit, this returns to 0, and you can see from 100 and something it drops significantly to 37. So how cool is that? So we can see how the pricing calculator can okay, so I'm just going to leave every other thing as default, and I'm going to export this. Okay, because of time I don't want to waste too much time configuring, but we picked certain things. So let me just open the estimate that it has given to us. It's gonna open. So okay, so we're meant to open this before doing something else, so let's wait. So let's wait a while for it. Okay, so as you can see from the screen, from all the things we selected just now, okay, you've seen that it has given us a neat estimate of all the things that would the price that we're going to spend in a month. Okay, so it's 840 USD. Okay, if this is what we're going to use in a month. So if you want to calculate it for 1 year, just multiply this by 1 year, so you know how much you're spending for your workload in the cloud for that 1 year. So I hope at this point I've given you a brief overview of, I've given you a high level overview and an idea of how to spend less in the cloud, then how costs works in the cloud using the pricing calculator. So let's move ahead. Let's go back to our lecture slide and talk about what we have next. So we've configured the pricing calculator. I selected some items. I dropped, we tweaked it a little bit. I chose hybrid benefit. I tweaked one or two things, and we exported that to an Excel file, and we saw the total that it would give to us. So let's move ahead and see what other surprises we have for module 6. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be talking about is the TCO calculator. So TCO means total cost of ownership. Okay, so it's a tool that would help you estimate your savings that you can realize by migrating to Azure. Okay, so it compares your cost on premise with the cost of using product and services in the cloud. So I believe that the next slide is going to take us back to the TCO calculator page. Yes, so let's configure some things and review the results and save a copy. So we're going back to the browser. So I have the TCO calculator here. So okay, so let's say we are configuring a Linux server. Yes, I'm just going to leave everything as default. How many cores do I want? Maybe 2. Okay, workload 2, web app. Okay, so database, MySQL, okay, storage account. Okay, so I'm just going to go with everything here. Okay, so I'm just going to click next. Similar to this is a little bit similar to what I chose for our Azure pricing calculator. So if we look at it based on that workload that we saw just now, database, virtual machine, and some storage account, networking. Okay, so if we're working on premise, our total cost is going to be close to 60K. Okay, so if we're working with Azure, you see a little bit less than 10K. So let's say for 1 year, on premise you're spending 62, in the cloud you're spending just 4,200. You see how easy it is. So all the components that I selected, so like I told you earlier, so it will factor in the cost of electricity. Even so you see that it's so neat. Okay, so we can choose to. So you have the savings of 58. So we can choose to even download this. Okay, I know I'm printing. Yeah, we can download it. Print. Let's see how it is. Okay, so we can share. I need to log in before I can share. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's opening. I just want to show you because that's what we were required to do. Okay, so this is taking forever. So I'm just gonna. Okay. It has opened. I was supposed to share this. Okay, so okay, I had to sign in, so it's like starting the whole process afresh. Because without signing in, you won't see certain things. Okay, so it has broken it down very neatly. Yeah, we saw that earlier. So we can download. Okay, we just downloaded. You see how it brought a comprehensive report for us. Okay, it printed it out for us actually. So if you have a meeting and you need to convince your bosses, you can just come to Azure TCO calculator, do just what I did, add all the items. It's gonna give you a comparison between to review and save the copy or share a link with them. Okay, you can share a link by clicking on share a link with them this way. Okay, copy it, you can send as an email. So we're gonna leave this page and we're gonna continue with our module 6. Okay, so there's another very important tool that Azure has called Azure Cost Management Tool. So this tool is very important. It gives you a prediction of what you're going to pay next month based on your current usage. Okay, in it you you can have billing report, data arrangement, just like what you see on the screen. It will arrange everything and put in some very nice graph for you. You can set your budget there, you can set your alert, and to also give you recommendations based on how you've been using. So I'm gonna, okay, we're not asked to check it, but maybe, but it's also in the portal. So let's just search for it. Azure cost management. So okay, one thing I would always, okay, see, cost management and billing. Okay, so one thing I will always advise you to do is that when you see anything, try to look at it from the console. It will make your life easier. Okay, so you can see we've been asked to choose. Okay, so you have to cost management. Okay, billing scope identifies your assets. So here we have cost analysis. In the cost analysis is where it's going to give you how much your usage is based, how much your next month usage is going to be based on your this month's usage. So we talked about budget. Look at this to help you make a budget. You can make an alert to help you make. You can set up alerts, even alerts here too. So it's very cool. So sorry, it's taking a while to come up, but yeah, it's necessary. Okay, so guys, so because of the nature of my account, I only use it for trainings, and I do not actually, this is not my work account, it's just for trainings. So because of the way the account is, there are no actual forecasts. But if this was my normal work account, you will see here something similar to the graph that I showed you from the slide. So I just wanted you to take note of how the cost management tool works in Azure. So if you can set a budget, there's so many things that you can do with it. So it can give you forecasts based on your next month, looking at what you've actually spent today. Okay, so let's move on. So you can set a budget, give it a name, or you create a budget, set an amount. So that's how cool it is. So in Azure, you do not just spend or do things blindly. Okay, you do things according. Yeah, there are tools for you to help you manage your costs. Okay, and give you forecast based on what you're using so far. So let's move on quickly. So how do you minimize costs in the cloud? The very first thing to do, use the Azure pricing calculator and TCO calculator. Know what you're going to spend before you even spend it. Okay. Secondly, you need to monitor. Okay, so monitor your usage with Azure Advisor. Azure Advisor will actually give you recommendations based on best practices. Okay. Then second thing you should know, use spending limit. Okay, so use free trial customer accounts whenever you can. Okay, if you're not ready to run production workload yet, please use free trial accounts. Use if you are an MCT or MVP, you'll always get credits to do whatever you're doing. Like the one I'm using for you, I'm using benefits of a Microsoft certified trainer, so I don't have to pay. Use Azure reservation and hybrid benefits. Okay, for reservations, if you make a reservation for 3 years, you get discount. If you make for 1, you make for 3. The more years you make, the better your discount. Hybrid benefits, you can use the license you're using on your on-premise environment, so you don't have to buy license twice. Okay, so choose low cost location. I explained to you what to make your cost to be increased. Okay, so if the cost of generating electricity in this location is higher than the other location, definitely prices will be higher here, because the cloud provider would factor in the cost of the electricity, cost of the cooling, cost of internet. Okay, so keep up to date with the latest customer and subscription offers. Also tag resources to add tag resources. Use tags. So from yesterday's lecture, from yesterday's module, we saw how policies can affect. You can use policies to tell people, okay, create in only this location. Okay, when you put a policy that when you set a policy that all resources must be tagged, if they're not tagged, the resource will not be created. So set a general policy for that. Make sure that everything is done accordingly. So tags will identify a usage with tags. So let's move ahead. Okay, so at this very point, we're going to go to another section of the lecture. We're going to be talking about Azure SLA and service life cycles. So what is an SLA? So SLA means service level agreement. It describes Microsoft commitment for uptime and connectivity. Okay, SLAs are based on individual products and services. Okay, so they contain detailed agreement on the services that Microsoft is providing and any exception to the SLA. Okay, the exceptions are free and preview features do not offer SLA. Okay, so this is supposed to be XLA, not SL. So free products, free trial products do not have XLA because you did not pay for that product. So let's move on. Okay, so so let's look at the screen. Okay, performance targets are expressed as uptime and connectivity guarantees. Okay, so performance target range from 99% to 99.999%. So if a service fails to meet that guarantee, a percentage of the monthly service fee can be credited to you as a customer. So if you look at 99%, they're telling you that they're only going to be down for 7 hours, 10 minutes and 17 seconds for the whole of that month. So compare it to 99.399%, they're only going to be down for 26 seconds. So that is so cool. Okay, so factors that affect your SLA. Okay, so if you add more services, definitely your SLA is going to decrease. I'm going to show you that in the next exercise. Okay, so if you choose free and non service SLA, like I said earlier, if it's a free, if you're using it for free, okay, then there is no SLA because you did not purchase the products. Okay, so many factors can raise or lower your SLA. So you make your design decision based on your business goal that will drive your SLA. So if you choose availability zones, it will raise your SLA because you're trying to make a product highly available. You choose redundant systems, it will also increase your SLA as well. So let's move forward. Okay, so this walkthrough is going to be a little bit different. Okay, so determining uptime. So I'm going to explain this. Okay, let me SLA calculator. Okay, so let's just Google. There's a website that I saw. Okay, uptime. Okay, so whiteboard online. So let's do whiteboard online. Okay, so I'm trying. Okay, I've opened this. So there is this. Okay, whiteboard is not opening. So okay, let me see if I can open calculator app. Okay, I don't know if you've seen my screen. Where's calculator? Okay, so okay, I wanted to open whiteboard online. Okay, that's open. The one I want to use is tutorial spots. So I'm going to close this. Okay, let's say my calculator is open. Let me open my calculator instead. It might be faster. Okay, so you can see my calculator. So assuming the product has an SLA of 99, my calculator seems to be hanging. I'm not seeing anything on the screen. So 99.5. Okay. Okay, let's keep it at 99.9. Okay, so assuming a product has an SLA of 99.9%, okay, percent meaning there is 100, so I'm going to divide it by 100. Okay, so that means that SLA is 0.399. So assuming that I remember what we said, that if we add different services, it can lower our SLA. So assuming that I add like 3 other products to it, so that means, and they are all having the same kind of SLA, okay, 99.9%. So I need to multiply for composite SLA. You need to multiply the individual SLAs together and check check it. So for a single one is 0.99. So let's just multiply the three different ones times 3. Okay. No, hold on. So 0.999 times 0.999 times 0.999. So what we have here is 0.997. So let's make it back to let's multiply it back with 100 so that we can get it in percentage. So we have an SLA of, for 3 different products, okay, for 3 different products, that means we are having an SLA of so to get a composite SLA, we need to multiply the individual SLAs together. So the total SLA is 99.7. So let's look at the service guarantee that we're going to get from 3 different SLAs that we just multiply together. Okay, so let's calculate this. So this is a nice little calculator. So let's just hit enter. Wait. Is this correct? Okay, so it means that for every day, okay, you're gonna go. Microsoft is telling you that you're gonna go off for just 4 minutes 19 seconds. For a week, you're gonna go off. The total number of times you go off is 30 minutes. Okay, so you see how interesting it is. So Microsoft is guaranteeing you that 24 hours minus 4 minutes, okay, you'll only go off for that 4 minutes in a day. So in a week, the number of hours in a week minus 30 minutes, so it's still okay. So to know your composite SLA, what you just need to do, find the individual SLA, find the individual XLA, okay, multiply them together and use this kind of calculator to get your guarantee out. So let's move ahead to the next item in the slide. Okay, so at this point, we're going to talk about my Azure Preview program. So with Azure Preview program, a user can beta test any product that is being tested or that is in beta stage. You can test it and use it and provide feedback. Okay, so there are 2 levels, 2 categories. We have the public preview. All the customers can evaluate that new product. So when it's generally available, and the general availability is usually after public preview is completed, all the customers can use the feature and the region availability will vary. So we're going to look at this from the Azure portal. So Azure preview, that's what we're going to check for. So let's go back to Azure portal. So let's just check Azure preview. Azure preview. No. I clicked on the wrong thing. Azure preview. Oh yeah, so preview feature. Okay. So there's one new product I'm very excited about is Microsoft Defender for DevOps. So I'm just going to check it from this when it finished loading. So the internet is a little bit slow. Okay, so like I said earlier, if there is a new product that you want to check out, all you just need to do is search for it on preview, okay, register, and you'll have the ability to test that product. So as you see here, I'm registered for it. I like this product a lot because with it you can see everything happening with your DevOps environment inside Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Okay, so it helps to remove all the stress with regards to managing your DevOps workload. Okay, so that's just what this. So this product currently is in preview. Okay, it's currently a preview feature. So that's why you see that I'm registered for it. So I just showed you this to see how it works. So you can also check for a lot of other products that are in beta state as well. So this product that I showed you earlier was announced during Microsoft recent event. Okay, so let's move ahead and see what the next item in the slide has for us. Okay, so we just looked at preview feature and I checked DevOps, Microsoft Defender for DevOps. Okay, so let's move ahead. Okay, so another very important thing you should take note of is Azure updates are provided about Azure products and services and features, and in addition to roadmaps and availability. So with what you can do if you want to get updates about Azure products, you can subscribe for those updates notification using RSS feed. Okay. So let's move ahead. So this is what we just looked at a few minutes ago. We checked the preview features. I searched for the DevOps, okay, Microsoft Defender for DevOps, okay, Microsoft, yeah. So we looked at it. So I played with it. So I think that is all for Module 6. I'm very excited that you stayed with me this far. I want to thank you. I hope that your journey with Azure goes smooth and well. And please don't forget to tag us in our social media accounts if you eventually pass your AZ900 exams. Okay, so I'm gonna okay, before I go off, please answer a few questions. What does SLA mean? Okay, who can use a service that has, okay, who can use a service, oh sorry, there's a little typo here, who can use a service that is in general availability? Okay, that's what I meant. Who can use a service that is in general, or resource that is generally available? Okay, remember there are two stages. Okay, the second one is generally available. So who can use it? Okay, so what are the conditions? What are the things that would make your SLA to reduce? Okay, how can you minimize the cost of staying in the cloud? Okay, what can Azure Cost Management tool do for you as a customer using Azure? Thank you very much. See you around for other. Okay, see you whenever we have this dinner series again. Thank you for everything. Bye bye.